Howdy, this is Dr. Stacy Lyle. I'm going to discuss today the project for geodatabases. Basically, we're going to do a project paper. We're going to have it due on December the 3rd. This is 20% of your total grade, and it needs to be approximately 3 to 20 pages double spaced. Why only 3? You might have where multiple people could collaborate on one, so you might not have as much from one person to the other, but you still will have a substantial paper that you will produce on a project. Here's some proceeding guidelines which I would like for us to follow, and some potential locations that we can try to publish your work. Anytime you do one of these projects, you should go in it with the idea that you can publish this work at a conference proceedings, either the Petroleum User Group or ESRI International User Conference, the Energy Drone Coalition, some of these other ones that are out there. So look at those and consider this one. So this is a geodatabase project paper that you'll be working. This is really an individual assignments, but I will consider group projects, and I also will allow you to combine other courses. So if you're taking multiple courses with me, you could just combine the two projects into one and make it a substantial paper that you'll submit for one and the other. So the objective of the paper is to explore the background of a particular topic of interest in detail. And this could be a project of interest that you have potentially in geodatabases, and then you'll write a report or a paper. The analysis that you'll do is different beyond what we've done in our laboratory exercises, so I want you to do something a little more than us doing a little tutorial. But I'll give you a couple of options, and I'll even try to help you to produce a project or paper with one of the options to help you out. Be sure that you have all the rights to the data that we're going to use for our project, and data will be supplied or required to be shared with the public as we kind of move forward. We want you to be able to publish this work, so we need to make sure that all the data that you collect, you have the rights to use. Okay, so the new data also that you might generate if you do an analysis will need to be open, unless you have some analysis that you're doing that you feel like maybe has some intellectual merit, so we want to keep that private. So please consider submitting your project for a conference. I like to use Robert Day's book, How to Write and Publish Scientific Papers. It is one of the best books to help you to outline your paper. I'll give some copies of some of best methods or best examples of some papers that you can see to look at, what is expected in the papers. But you can always go back to these proceeding guidelines and look at their structure to see how that works. Okay, so next let's talk about the options. So you could create your own individual creative project, and this is something that is of interest to you, something that requires maybe some remote sensing data or some vector data, and something that is manageable for you to use. I should say remote sensing and or vector data in here. Alright, so come back with me at least by the 20th of your individual creative project so we can discuss it to make sure that you can accomplish it. Other than that, what we're going to look at is a UAV geodatabase cubing. Now, the concept of that is UAVs are playing an increasing role in geoscience, providing rapid information for exploration and investigation for sites, for maybe doing well pad design. You can fly a drone out there and quickly build three-dimensional models that you can use to engineer and design roads or pads or facilities or pipelines on. Everywhere a drone is flown, though, it flies over a piece of property, and there is published, available, known information that is geospatial over that location. So what you want to do is to be able to fly over this specific area that you have in this area And then you want to be able to query all the data sets where this drone flies. So you want to figure out where the drone flies, and then you want to make a copy or a layer of everything where the drone flew up into a nice map. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go get a county or city geodatabase. We're going to build that in our MS SQL and build the geodatabase by getting everything we can. Now in that portion, I will provide you Brazos County here with all the data that I can find, and any that you can find would be good. And we'll load that into our geodatabase. All right. Then we will obtain the UAV images, and I'll supply those, or you can come and get your own. If you're doing a county local to where you have, hopefully you can get UAV areas. If not, you can simulate a location where a UAV has flown, but you'll have an area where the UAV has flown. And basically at that point, you're going to query down through a cube, if you will, all the known data sets where you had, and you're going to clip those out, but not actually create new data necessarily, as you will create a layer files with the proper cartographic information from your query that will push out what you need. So you'll have a geodatabase that you'll create. You'll have some public data. So we're going to look at actually pushing this to ArcGIS Online through ArcGIS Pro, and I'll show you that. We'll show you the captured data, and then the cube data or the cube layers where the drone has flown. I'll go through and give you some guidelines and methods on how to do this, and you'll create that. Now in your discussions portion, so you'll show those results, and if you see I'm following the typical portion of doing the problem statement intros, tell the methods you're going to go about, do the results, and the conclusions you're going to say, is your method the best method in usage of a geodatabase? And how can it be applied to geoscience exploration and or production? All right. So these are the typical formats that you'll want to do for your project. I will go through and provide more data sets here so that what we do is go and gather all this data, put it into our geodatabase, connect it to our ArcGIS Online account, get the UAV data or area of where that's at, do our clipping, if you will. You can also process the UAV data you want. I can give that to you, and you can be able to process that if you want to do that, but I could give you a pre-process where it's at. Then determine the method to clip or cube all the existing data that you've flown and push out new layers of that. So you're not going to give to your client all of Brazos County. You would give them everywhere your drone has flown, and basically you're not going to clip the data as much as just have layers files that clip it to that area and just display what you need in that area. Okay, so this is the project. If you have any questions, please contact me. I look forward to hearing your ideas and us getting this accomplished this semester. Thanks and good luck.